Hello everyone and welcome to Stype Live Demo at IBC 2024. Today we'll be talking about some of our new products, some improvement on our classic products and the latest in virtual production technology. Here are some things that we will be talking about. The world's best camera tracking system, RedSpy, combining with mocap system with camera tracking, then semi-automatic crane with auto-aiming, all the AR, VR and XR StypeLand rendering solutions that go along with it. And of course, some new and exciting developments from the Stype workshop. Let's start with our classic and flagship product, RedSpy. RedSpy is the world's most popular and trusted camera tracking system. It's used in live broadcast, film and other kinds of virtual production. We prepared a short video clip to give you an idea and inspiration what can be achieved when RedSpy is used to track cameras. Now let's check out how precise and reliable RedSpy tracking is. Let's load in a cone scene, which is the ultimate tracking test. As you see, we have a real cross on the floor, on top of which we place the virtual cone. So as the camera moves, the cone stays fixed on the cross. This is achieved with the help of RedSpy because it's tracking the position of a camera. And let's see what camera tracking is all about. Let's switch off the camera tracking and see how the cone will look. Okay, so now the camera tracking is off and you see camera keeps on moving, but the graphics are kind of floating around. Actually, the graphics stays on the same position of a screen because, you know, the computer don't have any information where the graphics should move to be positioned on the cross on the floor. And now let's switch it on. Okay. Now with the camera tracking you see how good and realistic it can look. Okay. Now let's see a bit of virtual production in StypeWave. So welcome to our virtual set. Now we are doing a virtual move and are transitioning to tracked camera move. Let's add some political content to it. Here we are going to combine a few different technologies. We are going to use camera tracking, talent tracking and object tracking. As our talent is moving a tablet, you can see that the map of United States, she's carrying it on her tablet. And now the map will transition to the floor after press of a button. So with these kind of combinations, you can have all the freedom in the world to tell the story in a very unique and creative way. The presenter's position is tracked, the tablet is tracked, and the render engine combines it all together and delivers the composite you see on a screen as a final product. Of course, all of this can be elevated to the next level by introducing interactions with the actual scene and virtual objects around the presenter. As you see, our presenter can even draw in the air, so we are tracking both the pen and the camera, which creates really fascinating illusions. All these interactions are done through our other flagship products that we are proud of, the follower system. This system is a bit different than RedSpy, as it uses outside-in methodology to track the objects. The cameras that you see hanging on a truss with the blue circle on them are follower witness cameras. So we have many of those cameras looking at a space, and our presenter is holding a small wireless beacon that is emitting infrared light, which is how we can track the presenter's position. We have a similar beacon inside the pen, which our presenter used to draw in the air, and several of them on a tablet. Those are the small LEDs, which are blinking a unique binary pattern that our witness cameras see, so we can track different objects, people, and cameras if we want. We can use the same system to track the camera as well. Let's show how our camera tracking model looks. We call it a spider because it resembles a spider. There are several beacons that are attached to the camera. You can see it on this camera that we are using Spider to track that camera. Let's see some real-world projects that are done with the follower system. Let's play the clip. So as you've seen, Follower is a fully packed system which can track whatever you want, people, objects, cameras, and so on. Sometimes you don't have such a big requirement, maybe you just want to track your talent. So in that case we have some more economical and simpler solution, which is a new product that we call AI Glue, because it's using artificial intelligence to track the talent. Let's see how that works. So as Diana is walking around the set, you see that there is a light beneath her, and this light is being tracked. Diana's position is now being tracked by our artificial intelligence system called AI Glue, which is only using 2 cameras and is using real image. She does not need to wear any marker, any beacon in a pocket, so we can get her position in a very simple way. Now let's step out of the virtual set and move on to another of our product, StypeKit. StypeKit is an add-on for industry standard cranes. For example, most often it's mounted on Jimmy Jeep crane. Here we are using it on our own HumanCrane. It upgrades the manual cranes to semi-autonomous cranes. The system can also provide camera tracking data. For example, if you need to track the camera in a very large concert hall or a venue, and it's impractical to use RedSpy markers because RedSpy requires retroreflective markers, then you can use a crane like this, which is a mechanical tracking system, and it's fully standalone system, as it does not require any external markers or cameras to provide camera tracking data. But it is not the only functionality of StypeKit. On top of that, we can also make much smoother and nicer looking movements with the camera. You can see now we are pointing our camera to the Emmy Award. As we move the arm, the camera stays firmly pointed to this Emmy Award. Usually, when you operate the crane like this, you have an operator that is controlling the crane at the back where the weights are, and he's holding those 2 handles. One is joystick for the camera, and the other one is zoom and focus handle. It takes years of experience to be able to make a shot similar to this for a crane operator, but it can never become this perfect. So with this same system, we both deliver super smooth shots and also the AR graphics. Now let's dive a bit more into some rendering solutions from the Stype workshop. Our main software product is StypeLand. StypeLand is a native vanilla Unreal Engine plugin, which means that you don't need custom builds of Unreal to use it. You can download our plugin and add it to your existing projects and start working with it right away. It offers 3 main workflows: AR, which is a real set with some AR elements in front; VR, which is a typical green screen set; where we have virtual environment and also some foreground elements, and XR. XR we call a set built out of LED panels and then extended with set extensions. StypeLand AR stands for situations where you're using a real studio and you're just adding some augmented reality elements to it, like pie charts and stuff like that. It also comes with shadow catcher, reflection catcher, and refractions. This simple AR card is a good example of how you can use material refraction from the virtual object being implemented on a physical object or a person. You can also cast shadows on a physical set here. Now you can see that I'm being refracted behind this card. Let's use a bit better example. Can I get a monkey head in 3D made out of glass? This is exactly what I need. Now you can see how I'm being refracted behind this object. It's a very cool effect. We use this on Coachella Music Festival to get cool effects on this on that show. On top of StypeLand AR lives GreenKiller, which puts us in a VR workflow. In other words, in a virtual studio. GreenKiller is our state-of-the-art chroma keyer. With GreenKiller, it is very easy to extract natural shadows and to extract fine details like hair detail, the key through the transparent objects, and so on. On the left side of a screen, you see clean camera feed, while on the right side, you can see how it looks composited after GreenKiller does its magic. And now let's see the hair detail and transparent objects. So this is the world's most advanced real-time chroma keyer that you can now find on the market, and we can demonstrate it by comparison testing with any other chroma keying software. So how does it do its magic? Let's demonstrate it here. It's not a typical chroma keyer where you pick one color and you use that color to key to your complete studio, but we are actually having something like a 3D scanner. We have a 3D model of our cyclorama, and we're using our studio camera as a 3D scanner to scan which shade of a screen to expect on which part of a set. That way, we don't have to worry about lighting our set evenly. We can just, lit it however we want, and the system will know if some part of the set is darker, it doesn't matter. It knows that on that part it's expecting a darker shade of a green, and it knows this is not a shadow. Only when you get the darker shade through the camera, the system will know that that's a shadow. You can even change the lighting, scan it again, live, while everything stays keyed out. To get a sense of what you can achieve, let's see a short video with some projects done with GreenKiller.
Although GreenKiller's keying abilities are extremely powerful, we of course want to show off some fancy new features we have with it. For instance, fake reflection system, which can reflect physical objects on reflective virtual objects in the actual scene, as you can see here with our presenter and the Stype logo. And another thing we would like to talk about is something we call image-based lighting. When you turn on image-based lighting as a feature, StypeLand will sample the color from the scene itself and feed that information through a DMX to physical lights to match the exact color on the talent, which makes the talent look completely immersed into the environment, as it was the same scene. And now, to talk about a different kind of software product we've been working on for the past year, I will invite my dear colleague Aydemir to the stage to talk about StypeCentral.
Thank you, Tony. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show. My name is Aydemir, and I'm responsible for production graphics workflows. Here at Stype, we develop and manufacture hardware and software solutions for all kinds of AR, VR, XR productions, as well as overlay graphics powered by our own StypeLand product, which is a powerful rendering solution based on Unreal Engine, as Tony just mentioned. Today I'm here to talk about StypeCentral, a graphics production workflow solution taking advantage of modern web technologies that enables access through just a web browser, which makes it really easy to set up and deploy all through your facility. By the way, you can see some screenshots and videos of the actual product up on those monitors. It's an end-to-end solution with pluggable system components to provide a flexible and scalable architecture while minimizing maintenance requirements. Since the launch of StypeCentral at NAB in April, we have implemented a lot of new features and tools. To summarize in general, StypeCentral offers playlist-based, template-driven graphics and rundown control for your studio productions, either live or recorded. The real power of StypeCentral comes from its support for the industry standard MOS protocol, which allows your graphics playout to be seamlessly integrated with your newsroom workflow. StypeCentral connects and communicates with your favorite newsroom control system, such as Octopus or Avid iNews, so that your template-based graphics are created, edited, and delivered with ease. This enables users, journalists, and editors to access and use their production graphics right within their familiar newsroom environment. From first design steps to on-air, StypeCentral will help you manage your resources by providing simple yet powerful tools for your workflow scenarios. At this very moment, we are using StypeCentral to control all production elements here, showcasing powerful and flexible AR, VR, XR, and of course, overlay graphics capabilities of StypeLand. Our rundown for today's show is created using a newsroom computer system kindly provided by our partner, Octopus. So please don't hesitate to ask questions to me or our team to find out how Stype can help you with your graphics production workflow.
Thank you, Ademir. Now we're going to move on to the third portion of what StypeLand supports, and that is called StypeLand XR. StypeLand XR is basically used when your virtual production consists of an LED screen, like in this studio. It is constantly growing in popularity, and for a few reasons. First of all, the talent can actually see the scene that they're in. And a bigger thing is the natural lights are directly on the talent as they should be. There's no need to introduce anything virtually. Then again, there are a few important challenges to overcome. And of course, StypeLand does it. First is the color shift on LED panels when you're looking at them with the camera at different angles. And the other thing is a color shift between the virtual world and the physical world that you need to match in delay and color. And of course, a multi-camera flow seems like a big issue since we have one picture coming out of the wall and multiple cameras looking at it from different angles. Let's see how StypeLand XR handles all these issues. To start off, let's turn out the set extension. When we turn off the set extension, you can clearly see where the set ends and the virtual part begins. This completely throws off an illusion of a big, nice studio, and of course, the cameraman should zoom in or it looks pretty bland. Let's turn the set extension back on. And now we have an enormous studio while having camera tracking so we can, for instance, turn around and see the other part. The thing is, the studio seam is somewhere here, but StypeLand manages to fit it in perfectly. Let's see how it would look without, for instance, the LED angle calibration. Let's turn that off. And instantly we can see the floor and the hard edges there because the camera sees a bit of a different color depending on the angle it hits. StypeLand XR compensates for this with its color calibration, and when we turn it back on, you can completely ignore that fact that it's different color. The same thing goes for set extensions. When virtually imposing a set extension, we have to match the colors too. Let's turn off that color calibration. Now without the color calibration, it is totally obvious where the virtual set is and where physical set begins. Kind of just ruins the illusion of being in a big virtual set. Let's turn it back on. Can't look at this much longer. Thank you very much. We're back in a big studio with all the camera movements available. But regarding the multi-camera flow, there's two approaches. First one is simple. We can use StypeLand XR to just actively switch the active camera back and forth from one camera to another and just make the wall represent what the camera sees at that time. That's the easy approach. But what if we want multiple cameras looking at the wall at the same time? For this, we need a bit of help from the actual LED panels that need to support something called subframing. Luckily, ours do, and as your eye is seeing the physical wall, they see both pictures at the same time. But if you look at the camera images, as we switch cameras, each of the cameras only sees just one picture. That's possible with subframing, which basically blinks the picture 60 times per second, and the camera is set to pick up exactly that little portion. And the other camera, it does the same thing, but it's offset by, let's say, one frame, and they're just blinking one picture to each other via the shutter. With that, we can actively change from one camera to another simultaneously whenever we want. We've also prepared a short video just to get to know what StypeLand XR does. We already mentioned our new product that we launched, AI Glue. But now we would like to show a new feature of it, the skeleton tracking system. With the skeleton tracking system, we can track gestures of talent and even map the whole control to their body. Let's get some music here. And that would conclude today's presentation. Thank you all for listening. And of course, we want to thank our partners that have helped in building this booth with their hardware and their software. Thank you very much.